Hello guys, it is just the beginning of January 2026 and Russia has already broken a number of its records on bankruptcy. First of all, they've made the largest and the fastest leap in inflation. Even worse than it was in March 2022, just at the beginning of this war when the whole world was terrified with Putin's decision. But right now, during 12 days of January, the inflation grew 1.26 and many of Russian experts blame the increase of VAT from 20 to 22. That's the only solution that the Kremlin made to try and fight against the empty federal budget. But of course, this will only lead to more problems, especially when 48 big companies announce default. That is almost twice than in 2024, and the tendency is only getting worse. They predict that in 2026, way more companies will be either restructuring their debts or formally, officially announcing that default. And the reasons are pretty obvious. They have to spend way more money on serving that debt, and a lot of industries in Russia simply die out. So let's discuss how Russian economy demonstrates its agony at the very beginning of 2026 and what it means for the development of war and any potential peace negotiations. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see the defeat and demilitarization of Russia, subscribe and share these videos to spread the truth. Honestly, everyone in Ukraine, everyone who knows more about the Russian mindset knows that real end to this war is only possible when Russia has no resources left, be it human, be it economic, be it weapons, and that's exactly what we are working on. And of course, this field of economy is super important because not only our Ukrainian drone sanctions are effective, but also the Kremlin economic mismanagement and the fact that they definitely overestimated the possibilities of Russia's budget. And now, at the very beginning of 2026, they reported a huge increase in inflation, 1.26 during just these first 12 days. So that's a lot. At the very beginning of the invasion in March 2022, it was close to 1%, and now it is even worse, plus Russia is way more exhausted. The prices are going up in the supermarkets, the regional budgets are empty, so they cannot pay additional money, promised money to the Russian war criminals who joined the army. And fewer and fewer people want to join it because any financial benefits they had are lost. Plus, one and the same salary in 2022 and in 2026 is very, different, and you can buy way less things. So this is a very good sign, despite all the efforts of the Russian central bank, despite all the games they had with interest rates, with this artificial control of ruble. It does not work, and 2026 exposes this. Plus, the very fact they decided to increase taxes, specifically targeted middle and small businesses, also shows they do not have any realistic solutions and simply speed up the collapse of their own economy, because all of these businesses that have already been suffering will definitely simply close their companies, private entrepreneurs unable to pay 22% and with a lower threshold for those who have to pay that VAT. And even among big companies once described as responsible debtors, we observe a huge wave of defaults. They first needed to restructure their debts, but it's just one step, and then most of them officially declared default. And this year, among the big companies that various banks are reporting about, 48. And I actually made a list that back in 2022, that was a super critical year for Russia too. It was 32, then in 2024, 25, and now 48, which means this burden of economic problems accumulates. And what is beautiful in general about any economic problems in such a big country that at a certain moment of time they become irreversible, and they fuel each other, they speed up each other, literally turning into an avalanche that destroys regional budget, that destroys federal budgets. And by the way, the whole region, Saratov in Russia, announced default. So 48 big companies have gone through defaults or like forced restructuring on bond issues, and the only reason was their inability to cover the debts that back in 2022, for example, cost them 13-15%, and in 25 it reached 26-35%, which is insane. Just imagine something similar happening in your countries. That would definitely result in protests and maybe even the change of the government or the president. But in Russia, they keep asking questions, and it seems like only Russian military experts, vloggers, are now ready to support these questions and express their concerns and panic, as we explore in my new video on Anna Danilchuk channel. And honestly, what's more interesting, at the very beginning of the year, various economists, both inside Russia and outside, provide forecasts for 2026, and they think it will be even worse. They predict that 10-20% more companies will announce defaults, and from my side, I think way more Russian regions will declare defaults. And we observe way more problems than just economic. For example, the governor of Belgorod region advised all of the citizens to leave the region because of bad conditions, because of electricity outages, and to move elsewhere. Something that seemed totally impossible back in 2022 became the new normal for the Russian media, for the Kremlin. And you know how at the beginning they wanted to whitewash the invasion, stating that they need to defend Russia, that's why they preemptively attacked Ukraine. And now we see that be careful what you are wishing for, and now they really need to protect Russian strategic sites, military sites, oil refineries, but somehow this protection does not work, and they get more and more problems on the front lines and also in the economy, banking system. This inflation proves it. 48 big companies that went default is also proof, and Russian regions that join, you know, this domino effect of Russian bankruptcies. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think is the greatest economic problem inside Russia now? What do you read in your newspapers? And of course, share where you're from if you feel like. Follow me on X, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Discord, all the links in the description of this video, same as the link to our merch shop with lots of good products that magically turn you into the ambassadors of Ukraine. And we are always grateful for the conversations that you start, the reminders that you provide to those who forget about an extremely important fight that now takes place, and I may say not only in Ukraine. It's definitely obvious that the free world is fighting against the authoritarian regimes, and I'm sure we will win, but we need to be united. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my sponsors and patrons of the channels, but most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!